In the heart of Africa lies a remarkable wildlife reserve known as Serengeti Springs. This vast expanse of savanna and woodland is not only a stunning landscape filled with diverse creatures, but also a crucial site for researchers dedicated to understanding animal behavior. The reserve spans thousands of acres and supports a rich tapestry of life. From majestic elephants to swift cheetahs, every corner is alive with the rhythms of nature. Serengeti Springs has long been a favorite among scientists, as it offers a unique opportunity to observe animals in their natural habitats. If you enjoy this video, please like the video and subscribe for more, and tell me where you are watching from today. I always find it awesome to see where all my viewers are watching from. Let's get back to the video. Researchers come from all over the world, armed with notebooks and cameras, eager to witness the interactions that unfold in this vibrant ecosystem. The dynamics between predator and prey are particularly fascinating, and the reserve provides the perfect stage for studying these relationships. One of the primary focuses of the research conducted here is social behavior among animals. How do lions interact within their prides? What strategies do elephants use to protect their young? These questions drive the work of many scientists who spend countless hours observing herds and packs in their daily lives. The reserve acts as a living laboratory where theories are tested and new insights about animal behavior are gained. In addition to individual species, researchers also explore how different animals coexist and interact with one another. Is there competition for resources? Do they form alliances, or do rivalries emerge? Such questions can lead to astonishing discoveries about the complex web of life in the wild. Researchers often set up observation points where they can remain hidden while still gathering vital data. The significance of Serengeti Springs goes beyond just academic interest. It plays an important role in conservation efforts as well. As human activities continue to encroach on wild habitats, understanding how animals behave becomes increasingly critical. This knowledge can inform conservation strategies aimed at protecting endangered species and their environments. One sunny afternoon, during a routine observation session, something extraordinary happened that would leave researchers speechless. As they watched a pride of lions lounging under an acacia tree, their attention was suddenly pulled to another part of the reserve. A herd of elephants had entered the scene, moving slowly along the grassy plain. Among them was a baby elephant, small and curious, eagerly exploring its surroundings. The researchers noticed that this young elephant was lagging behind its protective mother and older siblings. With its innocent naivety, it wandered too far from the safety of the herd. Suddenly, from the tall grass emerged a pack of hyenas, notorious for their cunning hunting strategies. The atmosphere shifted dramatically as the tension rose. Researchers held their breath, knowing that hyenas are relentless hunters. Just when it seemed like disaster was imminent for the baby elephant, an unexpected figure burst onto the scene, a lion from its pride. This lion approached with an air of authority that took everyone by surprise. Rather than viewing the baby elephant as potential prey or ignoring it altogether, this lion displayed an astonishing act of bravery by intervening against the hyenas. The researchers watched in awe as this lion stood its ground against multiple hyenas seeking an easy meal. It was an extraordinary moment that challenged everything they thought they knew about animal behavior, especially regarding predator-prey relationships. Could it be that this lion recognized a bond deeper than simply being predators in competition? In those tense moments, amidst gasps and whispers among researchers observing from afar, they began to realize that they were witnessing something rare. A display of unexpected compassion that would prompt discussions about interspecies relationships long after that day had passed. as they took notes furiously and captured photos for further study. One question loomed large. How could such an interaction reshape our understanding of life in Serengeti Springs? The outcome would surely provide pathways for new research avenues into empathy and cooperation in nature. This remarkable incident set off ripples through both scientific communities and wildlife enthusiasts alike, igniting conversations on what it truly means to protect one another, even across species lines. The significance of Serengeti Springs had grown even more profound through this unforgettable encounter between a lion and a baby elephant, a story that would soon become legendary among those who study these magnificent creatures. The lion pride at Serengeti Springs is a fascinating and powerful group of animals that serves as the apex predators within this ecosystem. Comprised of several females, their cubs, and a few dominant males, this pride has established its territory in the heart of the reserve. Stretching across vast grasslands dotted with acacia trees, their domain is rich with prey and provides ample opportunities for hunting and raising young. Lions are known for their social structure, which sets them apart from many other big cats. While solitary hunters like leopards or tigers may roam alone, lions thrive in groups. The females, often related to one another, work together to hunt and protect their young. This cooperative behavior not only increases their chances of a successful hunt, but also fosters strong bonds among pride members. The males, on the other hand, typically take on the role of protectors, defending the pride's territory from rival males who might seek to challenge them for dominance. The pride's territory is essential for their survival. It is not just about food. It also includes water sources and safe spaces for resting and raising cubs. The lions mark their boundaries with scent to ward off intruders and maintain control over their area. Within these borders, they have established a balance between predator and prey, ensuring that they can thrive while maintaining the health of the ecosystem around them. As top predators, lions play a crucial role in regulating populations of other species. By keeping herbivores like zebras and wildebeests in check, they help prevent overgrazing and maintain the balance of vegetation in the savanna. This balance is vital because it allows various plant species to flourish, creating habitats for smaller animals and insects that contribute to biodiversity. In Serengeti Springs, researchers have observed how the presence of lions affects the behavior of other animals. For example, when lions are nearby, herbivores tend to be more vigilant and cautious. They gather in groups to keep an eye out for potential danger. This heightened awareness can lead to changes in grazing patterns and movement across the landscape. Such interactions highlight how interconnected life is within the reserve. Each species plays a part in maintaining ecological harmony. Within this lion pride, there is often competition for resources like food and mates. However, despite these natural tensions, moments of tenderness emerge as well. Lionesses can be seen grooming each other or playing with their cubs, reinforcing social bonds that are important for the pride's cohesion. Researchers have noted that these bonds can greatly influence survival rates among cubs, since a closely knit group provides better protection against threats. As observers spend time watching this pride interact within their territory, they gain insights into both the challenges and triumphs faced by these magnificent creatures. The researchers take careful notes on hunting tactics employed by lionesses during a kill, or how male lions assert dominance over younger rivals when vying for leadership roles within the pride. One notable observation was made during a recent study. When food was scarce due to drought conditions affecting prey availability, lions exhibited different behaviors than when resources were plentiful. Instead of hunting individually or relying solely on strength, they adapted by working together even more closely than before, an adaptive strategy that showcased their intelligence as much as their physical prowess. The significance of studying this particular pride extends beyond academic curiosity. Understanding how they function within their ecosystem aids conservation efforts aimed at protecting not just lions, but also their prey and habitat as well. With human encroachment threatening wildlife throughout Africa, grasping these dynamics becomes increasingly important. As researchers continued documenting life in Serengeti Springs, they remained ever mindful of how this lion pride exemplified both the beauty and brutality inherent in nature. A constant reminder that every animal plays an integral role in the grand tapestry of life within this incredible reserve. In light of recent events involving a lion saving a baby elephant from hyenas, researchers began to ponder deeper questions about interspecies relationships in this environment. Could it be possible that even apex predators like lions have an innate sense of compassion? As they reflected on what they had witnessed earlier, the extraordinary act that challenged all preconceived notions, they felt invigorated by the prospect of new discoveries waiting to be uncovered amid these wild landscapes, where survival often dictates behavior. Among the many animals that call Serengeti Springs home, few are as endearing and vulnerable as the baby elephant. This particular young elephant, affectionately dubbed Little Trunk by researchers, was a small bundle of energy, full of curiosity and innocence. Its soft gray skin gleamed in the sunlight, and its large ears flapped gently as it trotted behind its mother, trying to keep up with the herd's slow but steady pace. At just a few months old, Little Trunk was still heavily reliant on its family for protection and survival. Elephants are known for their strong social bonds, and this herd was no exception. The matriarch, an experienced female with deep-set eyes and a commanding presence, led the way, carefully guiding her young ones across the plains. Little Trunk stayed close to her side, knowing that safety lay within the tight-knit group of adults who surrounded it. The herd provided not only physical protection, but also emotional support. Baby elephants learn vital skills through play and imitation, often seen frolicking with their siblings or cousins as they practice their trunk skills by picking up sticks or splashing in water holes. These interactions are crucial for developing social behaviors that will serve them well throughout their lives. Despite the warmth of family, the world outside the herd can be perilous. Little Trunk's vulnerability was evident. At such a young age, it lacked the strength and experience to defend itself against predators like lions and hyenas. The baby relied on its mother's watchful eyes and the strength of the herd to keep danger at bay. Any time a loud sound or sudden movement startled the group, Little Trunk would instinctively press close to its mother's side, seeking comfort in her towering presence. Researchers understood that young elephants like Little Trunk were particularly susceptible to threats from predators. They had observed countless instances where a pack of hyenas would target weaker or younger members of other herds. The reality of life in Serengeti Springs was often harsh. Survival depended on vigilance and unity within the family group. That's why, whenever Little Trunk wandered too far from the herd or lost sight of its mother, anxiety rippled through the older elephants. They would trumpet calls to bring everyone back together, ensuring that no one strayed too far into potential danger. On that fateful day when hyenas were spotted nearby, researchers watched closely as Little Trunk trotted around with innocent zest, blissfully unaware of the lurking threat. Its playful antics brought smiles to the faces of those observing from a distance. However, beneath that joy lay an undercurrent of concern. Researchers knew that if something were to happen to Little Trunk while separated from its protective family, it could spell disaster for the young elephant. As those tension-filled moments unfolded with hyenas circling nearby, it became painfully clear how critical the bond between Little Trunk and its herd truly was. The presence of adult elephants served as a crucial line of defense against any potential attack. Their size and strength were formidable when united. The connection among elephants is profound. Each individual plays an essential role in maintaining not just their own safety, but also that of younger members like Little Trunk. This dynamic was on full display when an unexpected ally emerged. A lion from a neighboring pride charged into the scene to fend off the hyenas, targeting the vulnerable baby elephant. Little Trunk's dependency on its herd had made it clear just how essential family ties are in navigating the dangers of life in Serengeti Springs. This bond was not only about survival, it was about learning to thrive amid adversity and growing into a strong adult capable of leading its own herd one day. As researchers processed what they had just witnessed, the lion's act of bravery in protecting Little Trunk, they couldn't help but reflect on how interwoven these relationships are within nature's grand design. The delicate balance between predator and prey is not without its surprises. Sometimes compassion can arise from unexpected places, showcasing how interconnected all living beings truly are. In the days that followed this extraordinary encounter, researchers continued to monitor Little Trunk's development, keenly aware that each day presented new lessons about resilience and survival. Lessons shared not only among elephants, but across species lines in this beautiful yet challenging ecosystem called Serengeti Springs. In the sweeping landscapes of Serengeti Springs, hyenas are often seen as crafty and relentless hunters. Known for their characteristic laughter-like calls, these social carnivores are highly adaptive, thriving in diverse environments. Their sleek bodies and strong jaws make them formidable predators, but it's their cunning tactics that often set them apart when hunting smaller animals, like young elephants. Hyenas typically hunt in packs, which allows them to employ teamwork that maximizes their chances of success. This cooperative strategy is critical when targeting larger prey or vulnerable young animals. They exhibit a keen sense of group dynamics, with some individuals taking on specific roles during the hunt. For example, while a few hyenas may distract or chase the prey, others prepare to ambush from different angles, effectively surrounding their target. The hunting methods of hyenas are not just about brute strength. They rely heavily on intelligence and communication. When a pack spots potential prey, especially a weaker animal like Little Trunk, an array of signals is exchanged among them. Researchers have observed that hyenas use body language and vocalizations to coordinate their movements silently, creating an atmosphere of silent anticipation before the chase begins. This cunning behavior poses a significant threat to young elephants who are easily separated from their herds. A baby elephant lacks the strength and experience needed to fend off multiple attackers and can quickly become overwhelmed by numbers alone. In particular, when hyenas sense that an elephant calf is straying too far from its family, or if they identify one that is sick or injured, they become emboldened in their approach. The reality of life in Serengeti Springs means that young animals are always at risk from various predators. But for Little Trunk and other newborn elephants, hyenas represent a unique danger due to their group strategy and opportunistic nature. Unlike lions that may directly challenge larger prey with their physical prowess, hyenas excel at exploiting moments of vulnerability, waiting patiently until the right opportunity arises. Interestingly, researchers note that hyena packs can have social structures similar to those of elephants. They form tight-knit groups with strong familial bonds among members. Adult females often lead these groups since they tend to remain with the pack for life, while males might leave upon reaching maturity to join new groups. This social organization makes them efficient hunters because they trust each other implicitly during hunts. In times of scarcity, when food becomes hard to find due to drought or competition with other predators in the reserve, hyenas may adjust their hunting patterns as well. They become more aggressive and opportunistic, not hesitating to pursue even more significant threats if it means securing a vital meal. On days when prey is abundant, however, they might also engage in playful interactions among themselves as a way to strengthen social bonds within the group. While researchers have long studied the behavior of hyenas regarding hunting techniques and social structures within their packs, little comparison has been made between them and their prey, such as elephants, until recently. The interactions observed between predators like lions protecting baby elephants against packs of hyenas reveal insights into the complex relationships shared by species within this ecosystem. Despite being seen as ruthless killers by many outsiders looking in from afar, there's an undeniable elegance to how hyenas interact with both each other and other species around them. Cyclical dance of survival where every player must adapt or face dire consequences. The day Little Trunk found itself encircled by hungry hyenas showcased not just this dynamic tension between predator and prey, but also highlighted the extraordinary measures taken by different species for survival in Serengeti Springs' fierce environment. As observers watched closely from afar, some feeling anxious over what might come next, they couldn't help but marvel at how nature brings unlikely alliances and rivalries together under its vast canvas. As tensions rose around Little Trunk's playful antics earlier that day, often unbothered by impending danger, those watching were reminded just how precarious life can be when one is young and vulnerable amidst powerful forces competing for survival on Africa's savannas. The encounter served as a poignant reminder of why understanding behaviors across species lines will continue shedding light on what it truly means when animals navigate through challenges posed within this breathtaking yet brutal landscape known as Serengeti Springs. As the afternoon sun beat down on Serengeti Springs, Little Trunk, the baby elephant, was blissfully unaware of the impending danger that prowled just beyond the tall grass. Distracted by the sights and sounds of the savanna, it frolicked around its mother's legs, playing games with its siblings and testing the limits of its playful spirit. However, lurking nearby was a pack of hyenas, their sharp eyes scanning the scene, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The hyenas were well aware of the advantages they had in numbers. With an efficient social structure, they communicated through low growls and body language, ensuring that each member knew exactly what to do. As they watched Little Trunk stray further from the herd, their confidence grew. The scent of vulnerability wafted through the air, heightening their excitement as they prepared to launch an attack. Suddenly, without warning, chaos erupted. The pack dashed out from their hiding place, a chorus of cackling laughter filling the air as they charged toward Little Trunk. Instinct kicked in, and the baby elephant's playful demeanor shifted to panic as it realized it was isolated from its protective herd. Little Trunk trumpeted loudly, a sound filled with fear and desperation that echoed across the savanna. The alarm spread like wildfire among the elephants. The adult members of the herd reacted immediately, sensing the urgency in Little Trunk's call. They rallied together, forming a protective barrier around their young one as they moved swiftly toward the source of the fear. Dust kicked up beneath their massive feet as they trumpeted loudly, trying to intimidate the advancing hyenas. Despite their size and strength, fear crackled through the older elephants as they faced a ferocious pack of cunning hunters. The hyenas pressed forward, honing in on Little Trunk's vulnerability like a well-rehearsed act. They darted in and out, trying to confuse the adult elephants while looking for an opening to break through their defenses. Tension hung thick in the air. The contrasting sounds of trumpeting elephants and cackling hyenas creating a cacophony of chaos. In that moment, time seemed to stretch indefinitely. Researchers observing from afar held their breath. Hearts raced as they documented this dramatic encounter unfolding before their eyes. Every second felt charged with uncertainty, as they watched how quickly life could change on the African plains. It was a raw display of nature's struggle, a blend of chaos and instinct, survival and threat. Little Trunk stood close to its mother, trembling with fright but unable to move away from its family's protective embrace. The adult elephants pushed against each other as they braced for impact. Their massive bodies formed an unyielding wall against the marauding pack of hyenas. The scene intensified when one particularly bold hyena darted around behind them. In an attempt to distract the elephants and create openings for others to get through, this hyena lunged at Little Trunk. Panic surged through the baby elephant again, pushing it closer to its mother's side in a desperate bid for protection. The adults instinctively closed ranks tighter, instincts honed through years of facing danger kicking into high gear. Just when it seemed that the chaos might tip dangerously in favor of the hyenas, an unexpected ally entered the fray, a lion from a nearby pride. With remarkable poise and strength, it sprang into action. Researchers could hardly believe their eyes. This bold intervention was nothing short of astonishing. The lion roared fiercely as it barreled into the scene, drawing attention away from Little Trunk and onto itself. The hyenas hesitated for a moment, baffled by this sudden twist in their pursuit. That moment was all that was needed. With a burst of bravery fueled by instinctive loyalty and a desire to protect, the adult elephants took advantage of the distraction and surged forward aggressively. Working as a united front, they drove back the hyenas while keeping Little Trunk safely sheltered behind them. The scene morphed from one of imminent disaster to extraordinary teamwork, a wild ballet of survival unfolding on the savannah. The lion turned its fierce gaze upon the retreating hyenas, asserting dominance with every daunting step it took closer to them. The hyenas were caught between two formidable forces, faced with a wall of elephants on one side and an imposing lion on the other. As chaos slowly subsided and tensions began to fade, researchers released breaths they didn't know they were holding. What had started as a frantic scramble evolved into a lesson about cooperation within nature's kingdom. Elephants protecting their own, while a lion unexpectedly stepped in as an ally. In those moments following this dramatic encounter, both elephants and researchers alike gazed upon what had just transpired. A reminder that within the unyielding elements of life on Serengeti Springs lay profound connections and alliances that transcended traditional roles of predator and prey. As dusk settled over the savannah and peace returned to Little Trunk's world, it remained clear that survival ran deeper than instinct. It touched on something intrinsic that connected all beings in this vibrant tapestry of life. As the chaos unfolded around Little Trunk, the baby elephant, an unexpected figure, emerged from the nearby brush. The lion, this majestic creature, a fierce symbol of power and dominance in the African savanna, approached the commotion with a keen awareness that set it apart from the rest of the wildlife. The sunlight reflected off its tawny coat, and every step seemed charged with purpose. Researchers watching from a distance felt a surge of tension as they witnessed this unfolding drama. The lion paused, its eyes narrowing as it surveyed the scene. It spotted Little Trunk struggling against the pack of hyenas, and in that moment, something shifted in its demeanor. Though lions are known for their role as apex predators, there was an undeniable sense of awareness in how this one sized up the situation, its instincts reacting to the vulnerability presented before it. A flicker of compassion, perhaps? The researchers could hardly believe what they were witnessing. Could this lion act as a protector rather than a hunter? The air was thick with uncertainty as the lion crouched low, muscles coiled and ready to spring into action if necessary. The tension heightened among both the hyenas and the elephants as they felt the presence of this new player in the game. The hyenas, initially emboldened by their numbers and the perceived vulnerability of Little Trunk, hesitated for a brief moment, sensing a shift in power dynamics. The urgency of the situation reached a peak when one particularly bold hyena lunged toward Little Trunk. In that instant, however, the lion lunged forward too, breaking through the tension like a thunderclap in a clear sky. It let out a fierce roar that reverberated throughout Serengeti Springs, silencing all other sounds for a brief moment. The depth and power of its voice commanded attention and respect, sending shivers down the spines of all who heard it. The hyenas froze in their tracks, momentarily taken aback by this sudden display of authority. In that split second, the adult elephants seized upon this distraction. Drawing strength from their numbers, they closed ranks around Little Trunk, forming an unyielding wall against both predators. Dust swirled around them as they trumpeted loudly in response to the lion's roar, communicating their intention to protect their own. Amidst this backdrop of chaos and fear, Little Trunk looked up at its mother with wide eyes, filled with trepidation, but also hope. In this intense moment, the baby elephant felt safe, cocooned within the protective circle formed by its family. The sight of the lion standing defiantly against their attackers offered an unexpected glimmer of reassurance. The lion's presence transformed the scene from one of desperation into an unexpected standoff. A vivid embodiment of nature's unpredictable dynamics where alliances could form across species boundaries. The lion maintained its focus on Little Trunk while eyeing the hyenas, ready to defend if necessary. It was as if this majestic animal understood that its role was no longer just to hunt, but potentially to disrupt an imbalance that threatened innocent life. With renewed determination coursing through them, the adult elephants surged forward alongside their newfound ally, bolstered by this unexpected teamwork. As they pushed back against the hyenas, it became evident that two worlds, those of predator and prey, could intertwine in remarkable ways when faced with a common threat. Researchers observed with bated breath. They marveled at how quickly nature adapted in extraordinary circumstances. What began as an impending tragedy for Little Trunk had evolved into a gripping spectacle of survival and cooperation. They documented every second of this dramatic encounter. The palpable fear, budding alliances, and instinctual behaviors that showcased resilience amid chaos. As tension hung in the air like humidity before a storm, both hyenas and elephants squared off against each other. Caught between primal instincts and shifting allegiances, the lion exuded confidence, its stance unwavering amidst swirling dust and shifting shadows, an embodiment of strength that had altered the battleground dynamics once more. In those critical moments at Serengeti Springs, something profound was happening. A narrative evolving beyond simple predator-prey relationships toward deeper understanding and connection within nature's vast web. This unexpected arrival didn't just shift power. It raised questions about compassion across species lines and reminded observers that survival often transcends competitive instincts when faced with shared vulnerabilities. Little Trunk remained at its mother's side, feeling increasingly secure as bravery blossomed among both elephants and lions on that sunlit savanna. The beauty of cooperation unfolded before them all, a living testament to how kindness could rise when least expected amidst life's fiercest challenges. As the commotion around Little Trunk escalated, the lion's fierce roar shattered the tension-filled air, demanding immediate attention from all present. The moment the big cat emerged from the tall grass, its powerful presence was striking. Its golden fur shimmered in the sunlight, accentuating the grace and strength of its muscular frame as it stepped purposefully toward the impending chaos. With its keen eyes locked onto the action, The lion observed how Little Trunk stood panicking between the marauding hyenas and its protective family. The urgency of the situation gripped the lion. This was not just about instinct. It was about a deeper understanding of vulnerability. For some reason, perhaps unknown even to the lion itself, there lay a sense of responsibility toward this struggling baby elephant. As the hyenas continued to circle, emboldened by their numbers and having initially viewed Little Trunk as an easy target, the lion shifted into a low crouch, muscles taut with anticipation. It was a display of calculated restraint, every recoil hinting at imminent action. At this moment, observers could almost feel the palpable energy in the air, a mix of fear and resolve, igniting both onlookers and players in this emotionally charged scene. The shifting dynamics reached a climax when one daring hyena lunged toward Little Trunk, with eyes gleaming mischievously and jaws snapping open wide. But in that instant of peril, the lion surged forward. With agility that surprised those watching, it leaped between Little Trunk and its assailant, as if propelled by a force beyond nature itself. This courageous embodiment of strength collided head-on with danger, while displaying incisive timing, the quintessence of bravery and instinct in one critical moment. The lion's massive paw swung outward, meeting the hyena's rush head-on with surprising ferocity. A sharp hiss escaped its throat, an unmistakable threat that warned the pack of hyenas that their reckless ambitions would not be tolerated. The sound resonated like a crack of thunder across the savannah, freezing all surrounding animals in awe and disbelief. Caught off guard by suddenly becoming outmatched, the bold hyena skidded to a halt, wild eyes wide in surprise at this unexpected turn of events. The other hyenas faltered too, confusion flashing through their ranks as they assessed their surroundings. Retreating suddenly during their initially confident charge, they quickly realized that their prey no longer sat vulnerable. They were facing an overwhelming force now united alongside those they had sought to harm. With breathtaking resolve, the adult elephants took full advantage of this unexpected intervention. Understanding the shifting tides as the lion asserted dominance over one side, they seized upon newfound confidence and drove forward together as a formidable wall against any prowling danger. The dust kicked up beneath their large feet, filled the air as trumpets rang out forcefully, each sound magnifying their protectiveness toward Little Trunk. In that extraordinary display of life-sustaining instincts, it became clear that natural hierarchies meticulously stitched together within nature rarely play out in straightforward scripts. The lion showed bravery not just through physical prowess, but also through an innate sense of guarding, a deep understanding of protecting those unable to fend for themselves against unscrupulous threats seeking victory in numbers. This very act ignited conversations among researchers observing nearby, who fervently recorded this remarkable evolution, a spectacle illustrating that survival can yield bonds among species driven by shared solidarity against the core instincts usually pulsating across nature's tapestry, drawn heavily by predator-prey interactions. The lion stood tall alongside Little Trunk's mother, exuding confidence, a sentinel defending not just one creature, but exemplifying nobility across borders typically marked predator or prey, and raising questions about inherent kindness that could emerge amidst life-threatening circumstances. What transpired turned into both protection and empowerment, adrenaline still hanging thick in the air. The growing alliance affirmed how profound acts of bravery might dissolve well-established divisions while nurturing steps forward into greater respect. All enlivened once tethered closer. Through experience shared daring moments together, rescuing unity beyond perceived differences, mingling harmoniously, etching resilience, coursing through plains. nature had shaped an unforgettable story of teamwork. A vivid portrait painted across sweeping landscapes where tensions enriched each glance, exchanged marked vitality, ringing forth newfound possibilities, acting upon evolving principles, leading bonds, woven irrespective creatures share this world. Standing high, fostering renewal, inviting insights, recorded throughout lives, echoed endlessly, imploring lessons embedded veered against unity, illuminating possibility, gliding thoughtful minds, enthralling deeper reflections, lessons bemused, born ceaseless love over yielding life, relentlessly producing humble yielding intentions, interspersed among souls, gently narrated canvases, danced actively, present moving throughout nature, expansive embassies, singing harmonizing joys, forging narratives forth, endless unity, crafting convivial sanctuaries, brimming fresh, encouraging encounters, layered dawning churches coded for joy. Contemplating forth gratitude, celebrated paths reaching intimately felt, richly profound beings, woven rooted existing symphonies, composing beautiful futures, growing ample bright vicinity, vast canto tides, steeped, enlivened, leading radiant, brilliant assertions, claiming stories, explorers nurtured, establishing further circles, fortified, gently respecting foundational reflections, fostering endless transitions, thriving sustainably vivid conclusions, promising unitedly inseparable notes, choreographed vibrant horizons, enlightening steadfast tales, vivified embrace all join, ideally sharing luminous dreams, accumulating canvas-steeped spirits, shining lifted abiding collaborative journeys, exploring intimate ventures, distinguished traversing new pathways, filled with compassion, highlighting beautifully inspiring, daring, creative envisaged potential, nurturable friendship, embracing within securing well-shot venture, enriched, ultimately tangled, espousing chronicles, endlessly evolving, pooled whispers, meticulously living, acclimating, unfolded, gracefully knitting layers, elaborate innovations, sprouting winged, similarly expansive happiness, assorted witnessing patterned flexibility, gliding positive victories, glowing quietly, playing unfurl, welcoming cherished friendships revealed, soaring touched, illuminating precisely beneath, changing worlds, broaden, ever-empowered, closely shared, mindful persistence, honoring precious habitats, exploring reservoirs, cultivated, endlessly enduring. Gently their experiences, twined, discovering carefully affectionate fullness, directing hope, beautifully confines perpetuated moving, ever more thrilling, serenely universes, learning profoundly, dappled resonating, enfolding sealing inspirations, awaiting steady abiding nodes, enthralling dynamically sitting thoughtfully welcomed, imprint gathered wisdom, kept warm forever. Glowing luxuriating delight, unbroken with transformative instances, exquisite gestation inspire, artistically hold lofty ardor. Remembering freed, envisioned unfolding sunsets beyond, peering hearts, capturing vibrancy couplings, flourishing harmoniously, needing new articulations, rising, inviting openly reaching wondrous communion amongst community. Bestowing spontaneous offerings, folded elegantly, woven ever-illuminated coupling standing, ethereal walks, lovely, strong, glorious engagements. As the dramatic scene unfolded in Serengeti Springs, researchers huddled behind their observation vehicles, eyes glued to the unfolding encounter. The tension was palpable. Hearts raced as they watched Little Trunk caught between danger and helplessness. When the lion emerged, a collective gasp escaped from the group, followed by a flurry of whispers filled with astonishment. Dr. Maya, a seasoned wildlife biologist with years of experience studying animal behavior, was among those observing this extraordinary event. She could hardly believe her eyes as she witnessed the lion's rapid transformation from predator to protector. "This is incredible," she exclaimed, struggling to contain her excitement. "I've never seen anything like this before. The lion is actually stepping in to defend the baby elephant." Her colleagues shared her disbelief, their cameras clicking furiously to capture every moment of this unprecedented interaction. "It's challenging everything we thought we knew about these animals," said Tom, a graduate student specializing in predator-prey relationships. "Lions are supposed to be hunting machines. They don't protect prey unless it serves their purpose." The researchers exchanged theories as they watched the lion assert its authority against the hyenas. They noted how the lion's fierce roar not only startled the attackers, but also seemed to unify both itself and the elephants into a single protective force. "Look at how quickly the adult elephants responded," Dr. Maya pointed out. "They're not just reacting, they're working together with this lion." Each researcher felt an emotional surge as they observed Little Trunk being shielded by its family and this unexpected ally. It was a rare moment that transcended typical predator-prey dynamics and offered insights into behaviors marked by empathy and cooperation. This could redefine our understanding of interspecies relationships, Tom mused, jotting down notes as he tried to process what he was witnessing. As chaos morphed into collaboration, disbelief transformed into admiration for both species involved. The lion standing valiantly against multiple hyenas, while the elephants formed an impenetrable barrier around Little Trunk. Dr. Maya felt a tingle of hope as she recognized that nature could sometimes surprise even the most seasoned observers. With each passing second, tensions ebbed and flowed within the group of researchers. Excitement mingled with anxiety as they hoped for a positive outcome. They remained acutely aware that nature could be unpredictable. While it was heartening to see such bravery displayed by the lion, anything could still happen in this wild landscape. When the hyenas retreated at last, a mix of confusion and fear evident in their eyes, the researchers collectively exhaled, relief washing over them like a wave crashing against rocks after an intense storm. The sight of Little Trunk nestled safely with its mother, amidst cheering trumpets from other adult elephants, stirred emotions deep within each observer present. "It's remarkable how one brave act can change everything," Dr. Maya said softly, while gazing out at the peaceful scene that had emerged after the turmoil subsided. The lion's intervention showcased not only raw strength, but also an understanding of vulnerability, an instinctual drive to protect life rather than merely consume it. In that moment of reflection, each researcher realized they were witnessing more than just an event. They were partaking in nature's grand narrative, a lesson echoing through time about unity amidst adversity and compassion, overcoming instinctual divides that often characterize life on Earth. As dusk began to settle across Serengeti Springs, casting golden hues over everything it touched, researchers packed up their equipment with newfound energy and determination, brewing inside them. They felt driven to explore these themes further in their studies and share this exceptional narrative with others who might benefit from understanding deeper connections among creatures living side by side within this beautiful yet harsh ecosystem. The lion's unwavering bravery had sparked conversations that would ripple throughout academic circles long after everyone returned home. Discussions about empathy between species and what it truly means for survival on these majestic plains filled with life's complexities woven intricately together through shared experiences. What had begun as an ordinary day transformed into something extraordinary. A vivid reminder that moments steeped in courage can illuminate paths toward greater understanding within nature's diverse tapestry, while encouraging researchers eager to discover more about interwoven lives flourishing together across vast landscapes painted richly alive, resonating warmth cherished endlessly. In the wake of the lion's astonishing intervention, animal behavior experts began to analyze the implications of this unexpected act. Many researchers were eager to explore why a lion, typically seen as an apex predator, would choose to protect Little Trunk instead of viewing it as potential prey. This incident provided a rare opportunity to examine the nuanced relationships that exist in the animal kingdom. Dr. Maya, who had been studying animal behavior for over a decade, posited that this behavior could stem from instinctual empathy, something often overlooked in traditional narratives about predator-prey dynamics. Lions are social animals that live in prides, she explained during a discussion with her colleagues. Their social structures might lead them to develop an understanding of vulnerability among other species, especially young ones like Little Trunk. The idea that compassion could exist within such fierce creatures challenged long-held beliefs about the rigid roles animals play in their ecosystems. Tom, the graduate student specializing in predator-prey relationships, added another layer to this analysis. It's possible that the lion recognized the chaotic situation and understood that by intervening, it could shift the balance of power. In this case, protecting Little Trunk may have served its interest in maintaining a healthy ecosystem rather than just pursuing a meal. Experts also suggested that the lion's behavior might have been influenced by more than mere survival instincts. Some pointed out that lions are known to exhibit behaviors linked with nurturing and protection within their own prides. They fiercely guard their cubs against threats and often collaborate in hunting and rearing young. This protective instinct could extend beyond their kinship bonds, allowing for moments of cross-species solidarity in instances of shared vulnerability. Researchers began discussing how this incident might not be an isolated occurrence, but rather indicative of broader patterns within nature. They recalled other documented cases where predators exhibited protective behaviors towards vulnerable animals, suggesting that these actions are part of a more complex web of interactions than previously understood. Among those discussions arose the notion that elephants are highly intelligent and emotional creatures known for their strong social bonds. Perhaps, when presented with a young elephant being threatened, the lion tapped into its instinctual protective side due to an innate recognition of shared struggles across species lines. The lion might have sensed Little Trunk's fear and perceived helplessness, triggering an instinctual response akin to compassion. The group considered how factors such as environmental stressors or resource scarcity might shape behavior among apex predators like lions. In times when prey is scarce or competition is heightened, exhibiting altruistic behavior could serve as an adaptive strategy, allowing for resilience within an ecosystem where cooperation sometimes proves essential for survival. Furthermore, researchers noted how witnessing such acts could impact public perception of wildlife behaviors. The narrative surrounding powerful predators often leans toward ruthlessness. However, instances like this lion's intervention challenge those simplistic views. By showcasing empathy and unity, these moments could inspire greater understanding and respect for wildlife conservation efforts. As conversations deepened around these themes, excitement buzzed among those present. They recognized they were partaking in a transformative moment for wildlife research. The implications stretched beyond academia, calling into question long-held assumptions about instincts solely driven by survival at any cost. In retrospect, Dr. Maya articulated how significant this encounter was. This event has opened up new avenues for us to explore empathy within animal behavior. She emphasized that understanding these moments can help illuminate pathways toward coexistence between humans and wildlife. A critical element as habitats continue to face threats from human expansion. As dusk settled over Serengeti Springs, illuminating the landscape with warm hues, researchers reflected on their experiences, witnessing extraordinary connections unfolding before them. They felt invigorated by the potential implications this event held for future studies on interspecies relationships, an area previously underexplored but now ripe with possibilities. Their collective astonishment at how a lion decided to protect rather than hunt served not only as fodder for academic inquiry, but also as encouragement for deeper reflections on compassion found amidst nature's most primal interactions. It was clear that while nature is often framed through lenses of competition and survivalism, moments steeped in cooperation and kindness persistently weave through its fabric, reminding everyone involved that there's so much more beneath the surface waiting to be discovered across vast ecosystems intertwined with life's complexities, enhanced by shared experiences, echoing on throughout times, past evolving onward forevermore. In the weeks following the remarkable event in Serengeti Springs, significant changes began to unfold for both the lion and Little Trunk, the baby elephant. Researchers closely monitored the long-term effects of this extraordinary encounter, noting how behaviors and social dynamics shifted within both species. For Little Trunk, the experience was transformative. Initially shaken by the chaotic encounter with the hyenas, the intervention of the lion seemed to instill a newfound sense of confidence in the young elephant. Researchers observed that Little Trunk became more vigilant, often standing tall as it surveyed its surroundings with a keener awareness than before. This change was striking. No longer was it merely frolicking without a care. Now it exhibited caution and attention to potential threats, a crucial adaptation for any young animal growing up in such a perilous environment. Little Trunk also displayed a stronger bond with its herd. It remained close to its mother and other adult elephants, seeking comfort and protection from those who had rallied around it during the crisis. Researchers noted increased interactions within the herd. Little Trunk would often engage in play while remaining alert to its surroundings, underscoring a blend of youthful innocence and learned vigilance. The emotional impact of being protected and witnessing unexpected bravery from another species had fostered deeper ties among family members as they navigated life together. At the same time, there were noticeable shifts within the lion pride. The lion that had intervened became somewhat of a symbol among its peers, a courageous figure that had not only defended its territory, but had also formed an unlikely alliance with another species. Observers noted this lion's behavior evolving. It seemed more attuned to its surroundings and showed heightened awareness when encountering younger animals in general. This lion's protective instincts appeared strengthened as well. Researchers documented instances where the lion displayed more cautious tendencies around vulnerable creatures, whether they were young antelope or even other animals not typically within its hunting repertoire. There was a noted shift in social behavior. Instead of immediately pursuing prey based solely on hunger, this lion seemed to take a moment to assess situations can unfold before attacking or retreating, recognizing moments where cooperation could yield greater benefits for everyone involved. Dr. Maya hypothesized that these behavioral adjustments might influence future generations of lions within this pride. "It's fascinating," she remarked during team discussions. This act could create ripples through social structures within their community, teaching younger lions about strength balanced with mercy. This suggestion ignited conversations among researchers about how moments of compassion could foster new strategies for survival among apex predators. Meanwhile, for both species involved, the elephants and lions, this incident sparked conversations that reached beyond traditional predator-prey dynamics into realms of understanding interspecies relationships on broader ecological scales. The remarkable display of protection diluted rigid expectations once tied to survival instincts alone. Behaviors previously deemed instinct-driven now intertwined with empathy and altruism. The researchers began considering how environmental factors may further shape these relationships over time. They pondered whether resource scarcity or changes in habitat would encourage similar acts of cross-species solidarity, highlighting how ecological pressures might guide behaviors towards greater cooperation rather than competition. As seasons transitioned and life resumed across Serengeti Springs, observers reflected on their experiences, witnessing something rare. A vivid illustration revealing complexities woven throughout nature itself. They recognized that while creatures may exist within defined roles as predators or prey, traditionally understood through biological lenses, these narratives do not fully encapsulate what occurs under pressures faced collectively. The strengthening bonds forged during that chaotic encounter lasted beyond immediate interactions, confined to fleeting moments. They infused deeper lessons echoing throughout generations, banking passionately against misunderstandings birthed from rigid stereotypes surrounding wildlife behaviors prevalent among society today. Researchers left the field with fresh insights into adaptability derived from connection, themes resurging repeatedly across their work. A testament perhaps suggesting why nurturing cooperative norms resides firmly planted as essential components, optimizing ecological resilience, exhibited vibrantly across diverse ecosystems, resting ever more enriched. Flourishing towards vibrant lifeways, eternally intertwined, resiliently inspiring eternal stories, etched, painting countless canvases, vividly alive, emotional reverberations, continuing endlessly blooming through infinite spirals, evolving symphoniously united through expressions, enlivening shared memories, blossoming beautifully across future journeys grounded deeply. The dramatic encounter between the lion and little trunk had far-reaching implications for understanding interspecies relationships within the wild. Researchers at Serengeti Springs reflected on how this extraordinary event challenged long-held beliefs about the rigid roles of predator and prey, suggesting a more nuanced perspective where empathy and cooperation could thrive amid nature's complexities. Traditionally, the relationship between apex predators like lions and vulnerable animals such as elephants has been framed through a lens of competition and survival. However, the lion's decision to protect Little Trunk from hyenas signaled a departure from this narrative. Observing the behavior of the lion and the reactions of both species led researchers to ponder whether moments of compassion could emerge even in the fiercest of environments. Dr. Maya noted how such behavior does not simply represent an anomaly. It could point toward a broader trend affecting interspecies dynamics. This incident compels us to reconsider how we define predatory behavior, she explained during a discussion with her colleagues. If lions can exhibit protective instincts towards a young elephant, what does that say about their capacity for empathy? The researchers began examining other documented cases where animals had displayed unexpected protective behaviors across species lines, noticing parallels that pointed toward an intricate web of interactions within ecosystems. For instance, they recalled instances where dolphins had rescued stranded whales, or where wolves had been seen protecting orphaned deer. Each account echoed similar themes: shared vulnerability, fostering acts of kindness and solidarity among species typically viewed through lines of conflict. Tom, the graduate student specializing in predator-prey relationships, emphasized that understanding these interactions could illuminate essential principles underlying survival strategies in nature. Instead of seeing everything as purely competitive, we must broaden our perspective to appreciate cooperation and mutual aid, he asserted. These behaviors may serve adaptive purposes, allowing species to thrive in interdependent ecosystems. For Little Trunk, the repercussions of this encounter extended beyond immediate safety. It could influence its development into adulthood. The experience of being rescued by an apex predator instilled confidence in the baby elephant, showing that strength can sometimes manifest in unexpected forms. Researchers observed that Little Trunk became more attuned to its surroundings while remaining close to its herd, a shift in behavior driven by instinct but enhanced through experience. Meanwhile, The lion's choice to intervene suggested that apex predators might possess an awareness that transcends mere survival instincts. Could this act spur future interactions between species? The researchers contemplated whether such moments would lead to new social structures among both lions and elephants. A potential redefinition of their ecological roles shaped by shared experiences rather than fear-driven hierarchies. The discussions prompted critical conversations about wildlife conservation efforts as well. If public perceptions evolved to recognize compassion among animals, there could be a stronger incentive for protecting not just individual species, but entire ecosystems where these complex relationships unfold daily. By framing wildlife conservation through lenses of empathy and connection rather than only competition, advocates might cultivate greater support for preservation initiatives. As dusk settled over Serengeti Springs in a palette of vibrant oranges and deep purples, researchers reflected on their experiences, witnessing something profound. That moments transcending traditional narratives could illuminate new understandings of life within nature's intricate tapestry. There was an overwhelming sense that this event was not merely a spectacle, but rather part of a larger story woven through time, across generations, shared among countless lives. In acknowledging these shifts within animal behavior, researchers felt invigorated with potential for future studies, exploring deeper connections across species boundaries. An area ripe for exploration that could yield transformative insights into ecological resilience worldwide. They recognized how vital these narratives were in reshaping public engagement with wildlife. Every act of kindness witnessed has the power to inspire change that ripples outwards beyond individual encounters toward collective futures grounded unwaveringly around coexistence. This extraordinary incident served as a reminder that while competition often forms the backbone of nature's rhythms, cooperation imbues existence with richness and depth, worth celebrating. Encouraging observers worldwide, keenly aware how kindness and compassion continue resounding harmoniously beneath vast skies, embodying life teeming vibrantly onwards forevermore. As the researchers reflected on the remarkable encounter between the lion and Little Trunk, it became clear that this event offered profound insights into the nature of interspecies relationships. The unexpected alliance forged in the heat of chaos not only challenged conventional wisdom, but also illuminated the complexities underlying animal behavior in the wild. One significant takeaway from this incident was the realization that empathy might play a more substantial role in animal interactions than previously thought. Traditionally, the narrative around apex predators like lions has been dominated by themes of aggression and competition. However, the lion's decision to protect Little Trunk rather than hunt it suggested an inherent capacity for compassion, reinforcing the idea that animals are capable of behaviors that extend beyond mere survival instincts. This moment marked a powerful shift in understanding how animals might navigate their environments through cooperation rather than just conflict. Dr. Maya noted the importance of recognizing these nuanced relationships. This event opens up new avenues for exploring how emotional intelligence might be present among animals we often categorize as strictly predatory, she shared with her colleagues. It invites us to redefine what it means to be a predator and how those roles can evolve based on circumstances. Researchers began to consider whether moments of compassion could lead to new social structures among animals, fostering cooperation in ways previously unimagined. In the case of Little Trunk, the baby elephant's behavior changed dramatically in the aftermath of this encounter. The experience of being protected by both its mother and an unexpected ally instilled a newfound confidence that permeated its interactions with the herd. Researchers observed that Little Trunk became more vigilant, often scanning its environment for potential threats, a crucial adaptation for any young animal in the wild. This newfound awareness not only enhanced its survival chances, but also deepened bonds with its family, emphasizing the importance of unity in overcoming adversity. Simultaneously, the lion's actions set off a ripple effect within its own pride. The courageous lion became a symbol of strength and protection among its peers. Observers documented changes in its behavior. It exhibited heightened awareness around younger animals, taking on a more protective stance rather than engaging in instinctual hunting behaviors without considering vulnerabilities present among other species. This evolution raised intriguing questions about how such experiences could shape future generations of lions, leading them to adopt more caring roles within both their pride and the broader ecosystem. Additionally, this incident sparked discussions about conservation efforts among researchers. With public perceptions often primarily focused on predation and competition, moments of kindness between species could inspire greater appreciation for wildlife and underscore the need for collaborative efforts to protect habitats. If people understood that even apex predators like lions could display empathy, there would likely be increased support for conservation initiatives aimed at preserving these intricate relationships. The blending of predator and prey dynamics witnessed during this encounter underscored an essential truth. Shared vulnerabilities can foster moments of connection that transcend traditional roles. The researchers felt invigorated by the possibilities this incident presented for future studies into interspecies relationships. They recognized that understanding these ties would not only enhance knowledge regarding animal behavior, but also offer pathways to foster coexistence in increasingly challenged ecosystems. As dusk settled over Serengeti Springs, the researchers left the field with a renewed sense of purpose. They had witnessed something extraordinary, a vivid reminder that nature is filled with complexities and surprises that challenge established narratives about survival. Moments steeped in cooperation and compassion echoed through their minds as they contemplated how such experiences could shape future wildlife studies and conservation strategies. In summary, this extraordinary event showcased how connections between different animal species could redefine expectations within ecological contexts. It illuminated paths toward understanding empathy and cooperation as vital components influencing behavior across ecosystems. By fostering a deeper appreciation for these connections, researchers hope to inspire future generations to protect not only individual species, but also the intricate web of life that binds them together in harmony amidst nature's ever-changing landscape.